Welcome to episode 44. Hello and welcome back. Apologies, it's been such a long time since the last one. Several things got in the way, life, work, other stuff I do with my life, and of course I had great trouble diagnosing this problem. Problem being, couldn't get a spark. So I had lots of advice. Thank you very much, guys, everyone who sent me suggestions, all that good stuff. In my little journey, I was convinced that I'd blown the ignition control module, so I bought a new one, and that didn't fix it. Someone suggested I needed a starter relay, so I rewired it all for a starter relay. That didn't fix it. I thought it was the coil maybe had gone. Spent a fair bit of time finding out how to test the coil, finding that was fine. Anyway, after all that good stuff, it turned out to be an earth issue. So lesson learned, guys. Start the basics. Took me weeks actually to find it. Simple earth problem. As soon as I found that, it was like a moment went bing in my head. Earth, must be earth. And yes, did that. I'll show you in a second, and it bloody worked. So let me just take you through what I did. As with all, back to basics. I went back to my very first drawing, which ended up being a little bit dog-eared. However, ignore that. So the things so I took the whole thing off, all the wiring off completely, reinstalled the starter circuit here. So there's only the battery, the wiring for the starter, the ignition switch. I actually had, of course, put my M-lock in, so I used my M-lock wiring, not on this diagram. And then this was the circuit I had issues with. Okay, so I went right back to basics, didn't get a thing out of it, didn't get a spark. So somebody very kindly, and by the time I edit this, I'll find out their name and post it. Someone sent me their wiring diagram, which had a starter relay on it. So I wired in a starter relay, which is obviously which the mains, a positive feed from the battery direct to the starter motor on a relay. That didn't bloody fix it, so that was no good. I then started to try and test the spark by linking the battery directly to the coil to try and just tap it to get a spark. Nothing. Yeah, all those things. Then, and at great expense, I bought myself a new ignition control module, which also required its own fixing bracket and thermal paste to fix that to that. And do you know what, guys? I didn't use it, but do you know what? I'm going to fit it anyway. I may as well. The one that's on it's 30 years old. I may as well put a new ICU on the bike. But that's just a straight swap out. It's just bolt on, bolt off, plug in thing. So yeah. So let me show you the circuit on the bike. Okay, the bit I'm showing you here is this circuit here. So it's the feed out of the ignition into the coil. Right. So that's this red wire here. Okay. So that goes into the coil there and bounces out and joins the green connector. Okay, so that's the first bit. Then the second bit here goes out of there and goes to, and here's where I made my mistake. I had that on the wrong one. Would you believe it? Just simple as that. So that from there was the wrong one. This, by the way, I've completely done the wiring from scratch again. So these are all new wires. So apologies, they're all red. On the actual diagram, they are different colours, but these are red. So that was it. That single thing caused my issue. And then the earth, which is not currently earthed, goes to earth. So getting those mixed up, not having that connected, boy genius. Hey, there you go. But the good news is we got a spark. Let me show you. Okay. So first things first, we're going to start it off. There you go. Then, the tripod for this, 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to ground the plugs on the engine casing. I'm looking for a pair of sparks here, which we get. You don't know how good it is to see that, you know. Okay, with that working, it's time to rewire the bike back to where it was. During that process, I'm going to swap out this ignition control unit for my new one. Literally plugs on, no rocket science. Right, let's crack on and do that. Right, and start from the scratch. So you'll know or remember that we turned this around because it was there, and we've turned it around to there. And by using without redoing the hole there, basically this kind of falls a bit short of that support. So I've made a little aluminium strap which will mount that on. Okay, and that will stop it from, well, it'll give it some stability, that's for sure. So I'm just going to attach that to that, centre punch through the hole, second hole, and that's me. That's my support for the Moto. Yeah, M-Unit Blue. Okay, so here goes wiring up the M-Unit. I'm pretty much going exactly with this wiring diagram here. So that's just out of shot here, just so you can, just so I can refer to it. Had the foresight of labelling up all my wires before I took it to bits, so I pretty much know everything's going. He said. Right, so here we go, wiring up the M-Unit. Those are all me. Right, so top off, AUX 1, which is my light, and this is my halo and brake light, which comes on. AUX 1 is that one, first in. Next up is a ignition, which is that one there. Yeah, that's my ignition. And that one goes there, live wire. Like so. Next one is high beam, which is green. So that's that one. Goes there. Next one is the orange, which is the lights. That one goes there. Next is purple, which is my brake. Where's purple? There it is. Next is the horn, which is red. Not got the horn wired currently. Then there's a white turn indicator, which is that one. Next is my other turn indicator, which is the left. You can see that left. Oops, I just Make sure that's on properly. Well, I say properly, you know. That's not good. I'll just do better than that. There you go, and finally my 2 starter wires. 1, 2. Okay, inputs then. I'll start from the top. There's my ignition switch, or my starter button rather, which goes to kill. Followed by the purple one, which is my rear brake switch. Followed by the orange one, which is my ignition, which goes to the lock. There you have it. So if I start this up now with my unlock.
Ready.
We have action, which is great. Okay, let's pop these plugs back in then. Same on the side. Remember this, my fuel pipes. Well, got a couple of nice CNC machined fuel filters, and a set of hose clips. Let me just reassemble. Then I'll reattach the fuel lines. And the same on the other side. I'll put the fuel tank back on now. Bit of fuel in there from last time. Oops. There you go. Just put those clips back so I don't lose them. And then pop that fuel back on. Oops. 2. Okay, fuel on. Put on reserve. well, I can't tell you how pleased I am that we got that started. So that is going to be enough for this week. Thank you very, very much for watching. You know the score. Like, comments, subscribe, questions, all that good gear. More progress next episode. Thanks for watching.